Hello world, I'm Seth Ponder. I teach high school engineering and technology. I'm also the host of the EdTech Heroes PonderCasts, where educators share ideas for students to become creators of their content, not just consumers. In today's episode, Stephanie Modlin shares information about Genius Hour and ways to get started. Let's check it out. Let's just kind of let everybody get to know you. So, where are you teaching at now? I know you got a new, not quite a new job, but a new place.
Right.
What are you doing this year?
Yeah, I've been teaching fifth grade for 3 years now. This is my fourth year teaching fifth grade. I was at LaSalle Academy, and due to some changes in South Bend schools, I've been moved to Kennedy Academy. Essentially the same types of kids, the same curriculum, but it's just a new place. So it's been a nice change. It's different, but elementary school versus a middle school. So, but the adjustment's been okay.
Right on. And even though we're recording this and we're still on winter break, and she's in the same corporation as me, and we're both really, really excited for winter break still.
Yeah. But, we're doing school stuff during winter break. It's okay.
Right. We try to have fun. And, I want to thank you publicly, but she also helps out with our EdTech of the Bend planning team. Mm-hmm. And we're going to, now that it's 2019, we're going to really hit the ground rolling on that. So looking forward to working with you in there too.
Yeah.
All right. So before you share some stuff on Genius Hour, I would just like us to get to know you a little better. So I've got some questions for you. Are you ready?
Okay. Sure.
All right. So what's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite class to teach?
It's got to be math or science. I like both.
What is the most recent book that you finished?
Well, I just finished reading Fuzzy Mud with my class. Does that count?
Yeah, of course.
That's a good one.
What was the last song you heard?
Thanks to your kids. I think it was It's Raining Tacos on my Alexa.
That is what I was hoping. But I thought it was your kids that told my kids about that.
I don't know. It might have been.
I know you're a big Disney person.
My favorite Disney movie is Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, and what's your favorite? The best. What's your favorite ride to go on at Disney?
At Disney, I like the Rock and Roller Coaster.
And you guys are big campers. Mm-hmm. Where's one of your favorite places to go camping?
Turkey Run State Park is definitely our favorite place to go camping.
Now that we know Stephanie Modlin a little bit better, looking forward to hearing what you have to share about Genius Hour.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually learned about Genius Hour by going to the Hasty Conference in Indianapolis for science teachers. And so there was a group of teachers that presented about Genius Hour, and I kind of put my own spin on it, and I've been doing it in my class for 4 years, maybe, I think. So it's a lot of fun. Basically, Genius Hour is all about getting kids to research a topic of their choice. And so it takes, a little bit more pressure off of me giving them the curriculum, and they get to explore something that's fun on their own. The Genius Hour that I use in my class is a standards-based Genius Hour, which means it's based on the Indiana academic standards for fifth grade. All the focus on the test, I-STEP, I-LEARN principals a lot of times want to know how is what you're doing connected to the standards. So Genius Hour is definitely connected to standards. Of course, language arts standards, doing research, reading nonfiction, pulling nonfiction texts together. But in addition to that, my Genius Hour is based on science and social studies standards too. So here's how it works. First of all, I post science and social studies standards around the room, and kids do like a gallery walk where they go around and look at them. And sometimes it's kind of confusing. They don't always understand like what the actual standard means, but what I'm asking them to do is to look at the standard and ask some questions that they have. So just one example, you don't have to read this whole thing, but basically one of our standards for fifth grade is solar system. And so they have to know about the sun, the moon, other planets, asteroids, comets, that kind of thing. So the kids might see this standard hanging up in the room, and I ask them, think about different questions you might have about this. And so actually, this is a very popular starting point in my class. Kids love solar system, right? So a lot of questions that my students have asked about the solar system is, where do asteroids come from? What is a parallel universe? I had students research parallel universes before. It's kind of crazy. They research moons on other planets, and how did the solar system form? How does the moon affect the Earth, and that kind of thing. So all those questions came from this standard. So, that it's really kind of powerful when you have Indiana standards that your kids are supposed to learn, and they want to go a step further and learn more, and they kind of take ownership of it when it's their choice. So basically, kids come up with a question that they want to research. These are some examples of student questions that my students have researched in the past, all based on Indiana standards. So why did Europeans use slaves? Why is Pluto not a planet anymore? What was the government like in the colonies? Those are just some examples of questions that my students have researched. So they've chosen their questions that they want to spend some time researching. I should mention also that Genius Hour I do this on Fridays with my class. So just like it's called Genius Hour, just for an hour a day, on Fridays, they spend that time doing the research of a topic of their choice.
So do they get it all done in 1 hour on Fridays, or is this something that each Friday they tackle?
This is something, in the past, I've just worked in the fourth quarter as kind of like an end of the year project. Mm-hmm. So they spend every Friday of the last quarter working on it. And this year, I think I'm going to start right away after winter break and hopefully give them more time to have some more days to research. Typically, they get about 5 hours, right, during quarter 4 to research. And so that's a lot of time where they get to, just focus on something they're interested in. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I've been working on this at LaSalle. I had a partner teacher, Melissa Johnson, and we still work together at Kennedy. We're both planning on working on Genius Hour together. It's kind of nice when you have other teachers who are working together on it. You get to bounce ideas off of each other, and it's real nice that way. So after my kids come up with a question, they have to write a project proposal for me. And that makes sure, first of all, that it's based on one of our science standards. And it can be very loosely based, like as long as they can somehow tell me how it's connected to something they were supposed to learn in science or social studies, I'm okay with it. But I want to know, what are they hoping to learn from it? Why are they interested in it? I want to make sure that it's something that they're going to want to stick with. So that's pretty important too. If you can kind of tell, students get really excited about it. Sometimes their question needs a little tweaking. I talk to them about how they shouldn't just be able to type their question into Google and get a straightforward answer. It should be something that they have to dive deeper into. So sometimes they need help tweaking their question so that it's broader or maybe even more specific depending on what they want to do. After their proposal is approved, then they can start working on planning what kinds of things you're going to research. Fifth graders aren't wonderful at researching on Google. They do need help with typing in keywords rather than just questions. You don't want to type in, what would it be like to live on Mars, for example, because that's something you have to research. You want to know the temperature of Mars, the atmosphere, that kind of thing.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, high school students aren't the best at
Well, hopefully they get better. A lot of Genius Hour is kind of research skills too, so that's helpful. But they get to do it in a fun way.
Just this letting the students be creative, but also like own their education is awesome. You mentioned working with Melissa. Do you work with, do the kids have to build projects with this or design anything like a presentation or?
Yeah. So after they spend typically, I said 5 class periods or so, more if you have more time to research. They do. I have a picture of some students doing some research on iPads, and I also have some working on research in a computer lab. I'm thankful to have Chromebooks this year in my classroom, so that should make research a little easier. When they have a lot of research and information that they've learned about, then they make a slideshow. The first year that I did Genius Hour, I gave them a choice of making a slideshow or a poster, and I think overwhelmingly they just liked making the slideshow. I think that's something maybe, I don't know if it's just 5th graders or if kids in general like making slideshows, but I teach them how to do that too. So they make a slideshow and they present it with their class. So here's some pictures of some of my students presenting their information, their research with the class. They like to share with their class something that they learned about, and probably they're the only ones in the class who's learned about it. So that makes Genius Hour really fun too. I talked to them at the beginning of Genius Hour about how they're potentially going to learn more about a topic than I know. And so that really gives them some confidence and like, this is really cool. We get to learn more than Mrs. Modlin knows and teach her something. So
yeah, that's a great way to present it. Like, they're going to be the experts on this topic, and not only are they going to teach the students, but they're also going to teach the teachers about it. Right.
Yeah. I like to invite principals to come in and watch the presentations. I invite parents and other teachers, and that makes them feel really cool about themselves too, and they're sharing it with more people. That's kind of Genius Hour in a nutshell. I don't know if there's anything in particular that.
Yeah, you mentioned you've got the Chromebooks, so that'll make life a little bit easier. Yeah. Has anybody ever done kids love screen grabbing their video games? Like, I wonder if you mentioned they like doing slideshows. I wonder if first of all, if Minecraft is still cool. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think so.
The kid created Mars or whatever they're working on.
Yeah.
Minecraft, and then did a screen grab of that and kind of showed a video or something. I think.
Yeah.
Kids would nerd out with that.
Yeah, other presentation models that they can use to help share their information with everybody. That'd be awesome.
All right, Stephanie. What are you looking forward to most in 2019?
In 2019, I'm looking for just what's coming. I don't know what's coming in 2019. So I'm just looking for having fun, and just not only in my classroom, but with my family. Hopefully doing some camping. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go with it.
That's right. Just go with the flow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fun things here and there. Where can people find you if they want to ask more questions about Genius Hour or get to know you a little bit better?
Okay. Honestly, it's easiest for people to contact me via email. So smodlin, MODLIN, @sb.school. Email would be the easiest way. I do have a Twitter account, but I'm horrible at keeping up with that. So, but I am at smodlin on Twitter.
All right, everybody. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later.
All right.